Hello, everyone. Remember, I did say I'm going to be picking comments and talking about them. There's this one here that caught my attention, and it's also something that it's a sentiment that a lot of people also express. This is from at Truth Forever 6959, who said, "Doing this to a shameless man is a joke." That's I think it was on the video I did where students were booing Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State. And so he said, "Doing this to a shameless man is a joke. At the end of the day, same students who won't go out to vote will still be asked to go to court." After the hopeless Uzodinma had rigged and been declared winner by APC INEC, Obi's case has taught me a great lesson. It is either we rig to install a good government or play to the gallery while the criminals keep having their ways. And when he said that, I just remembered a part. I'm trying to find that part. I'd kept it, knowing fully where I was going to do this. So there's this part in Peter Obi's speech that he did recently where he said, "As students, young lads at CKC Onitsha, we were taught values and admonished to always choose the harder right instead of the easier wrong." Think about that. Choose the harder right instead of the easier wrong. I have done a video before where I made not this code the way it is, but the same allusion. That look, I know a lot of people are tempted. People feel that, oh, Peter Obi should have rigged, Peter Obi should have used violence, Peter Obi should have done. Never, ever. God forbid. For what? There's no way you're going to rig your way into office and you go there and do the right thing. Such things are evil. The moment you touch them, you are tainted. That's why many people are always surprised when they say, oh, with this person was so good. How come when they entered here or when they start doing this or when they now change, they now became this? Sometimes what some people did was that they say, oh, okay, because I desperately want to enter this place, let me do it the way they've been doing it. They chose that easier wrong rather than the harder right. And then they got in. Little by little by little, they were sucked into the evilness and they couldn't come out of it. You understand? When you're doing the right thing, it might be very difficult, but it's better to stay on doing that right thing. There's no how you say, okay, the same people. It's not about the end justified. The end must never justify the means. No, the means is what is supposed to justify the end. Do it the right way and get there. Then you say yes, and do it the right way. Even if you don't get there, you say I did the right way. Even though I failed, I would rather fail honorably. And that's how you're able, that's why I say to a lot of people, that's why you're able to have justification to speak. There are many people, you see them, people are saying, why can't they speak out? They can't speak out because one way or the other, they've tainted their hands. They've put it in such things. And so when I see some people who feel like, oh, okay, because I want my own to be there, so it doesn't matter the way he enters. No, it does matter. The process matters. If for me, I'm a supporter of Peter Obi, you understand? Ardent supporter of Peter Obi. If Peter Obi today goes in there and rigs his way into office, I'm not going to support him and I'm not going to call him my president. Because rigging is not part of it. It's not about, oh, you must win. There shouldn't be you must win at all costs. And then you do evil things, you do criminal things, you do illegal things to win. No. The right way. It might be longer, it might be long way. We might look foolish, you might look as if you don't know what you're doing. But at the end of the day, that's the right way. And there's a freedom that you have with that, and you're able to do what you want to do. You don't owe anybody. You can go in there and do the right thing. Or you think now, oh, if God forbid, if Peter Obi should rig his way into office, you think you'll be able to work? He won't be able to work. Because there are people who are going to come calling. Because he can't rig alone. He will need people to help him rig. He will need people to help him. If he's killing and maiming, he will need people to help him kill and maim. Guess what will happen? By the time he gets in there, you think Peter Obi will not be working for you. He won't work for you now, because he will not be looking for those people that helped him to do all of those rigging and criminality. And then you begin to wonder, how did he enter there with all the things that he was supposed to do? He got in there, he couldn't do anything. That's what happens. So you must never sit down and say, oh, you are wanting for the evil. You want to be a beneficiary of evil. You can't be a beneficiary of evil and do good, and use that to do good. It doesn't work that way. Some people think, oh, when I get there, we do. No, it doesn't. If you dine with the devil, it sucks you in. No matter how long your spoon is that you use to dine with the devil, it will suck you in, and it will keep you in one place. So that good that you see, keep to it, no matter how hard it is. And that's why when at the end of the day you get in there, you don't owe any evil person anything. You don't owe anybody that did anything to you. You know, the people that you owe will be the Nigerian people. See, what's his name? Abia State Governor, Alex Oti. You think if Alex Oti had rigged this way, that he'd be working all this work that he's doing for the people? He won't, because he will first of all settle the people that helped him to do the rigging. And that's why he'll now be putting all sorts of useless people or whatever into offices, giving them appointment, because that's compensation. But because now it was the people that voted for him, and even though for years and years and years he has been trying, people have been voting for him, they've been rigging his election, he finally got in. And his loyalty is to the people and not to the people that rigged him in. So for those of you who are thinking, oh, to do this thing is to do it, like I think I also did a video where someone had said that, oh, Peter Obi needed someone like, what's this person, MC Oluomo. Say, God forbid. He doesn't need anybody to shed anything for him. He doesn't need anybody to rig or do meme or whatever for him. Peter Obi does not need anybody's violence. He doesn't need anybody's blood. All he needs are votes. That's why I say he's in the business of convincing people. So we must be very mindful. I'm going to share something here with you. In I can't remember whether 1997 now or 98, I can't remember which of the, maybe 97 precisely it was. I had a test, and we did a test. I didn't read, honestly. I'm that kind of person that I never read. It's when it's time for exam that I'll start opening my, although I would have done my notes. I do my notes before even school starts, have this, but that reading for tests, mostly I really don't read most times. And then so that's why exams that there are no tests, I can't get anything less than a B. I always get it, but there's tests, because I would have failed the test and all of that, or not done very well. So we did this test. I didn't read. I was just sitting down there. I knew I didn't know anything. Some of my colleagues beside me were like, oh, Aisha, copy from us now. I mean, I can't copy. No way. I don't do that. So I answered some questions. I knew I was talking nonsense. At the end of the day, before I submitted, I just cancelled it. I drew a line through it. So that means I canceled. I didn't even give the man to. I just knew it was nonsense. And I submitted like that. Of course, the man, one of our very wicked lecturers, there was nothing he could do. Of course, I had cancelled my, so he gave me 0. I got 0/20. Few days after, he brought, so when he gave us our sheet, so I knew I was going to get 0, so I wasn't even bothered. So a few days after, he came and he said that, oh, apparently he had forgot, apparently he forgot to record the scores, that we should all bring our papers back. And then there were some people, because it was an impromptu test, we weren't prepared for a test. We just enter class and the guy just say test. So there were people who were not around for the lecture. So he said those people will come and do a makeup test. So if you know you didn't write the exam, you come and do a makeup test. Honestly, I can tell you, I'm going to be 50 in a few weeks. That is the most conflicting period of my life. That period, I think it was a level, I was either at level 3. Yeah, I think it was a level 3 course, if I'm not mistaken. All throughout, that was the most conflicting 24 hours of my life, because I was thinking, one mind said, just go and say you did not write the exam, and go and write your name under people who didn't write the exam. Another mind was like, but you wrote the exam and you get 0. And I bet nobody will know. You know that thing where you say, who we know? Nobody in my mind, like nobody we know. But like I like, but God knows. God knows I wrote that exam and I would know. Almost till that day, because it was the next day we're supposed to make that decision. Up until 24 hours. I always say to myself, anytime I say anything, I look back on that day, I say the decision I made that day still stands with me. At the end of the day, I carried my zero, I submitted it back, he recorded it. It was, I think, we had two tests, right? Over 20 year 2020. Was it that two tests, zero? And then there was another one. We had 20. Then later we had another test, the second part of the test. I submitted that thing. It was so conflicting, but I said no. I will not, because this is going to be wrong. This is going to be criminal. And that's the way for me. That's how I am. On issues like that, I don't care. I just said to myself, this is criminal. You wrote this exam, you got a zero, just go. But I went back, I submitted the book, and I can tell you I got a B in that course at the end of the day. Many people and it was such a tough course. I think it was industrial microbiology. Many people didn't even pass that exam, this thing. I got a B at the end of the day. And up to today, I always think about that. I always think about that day. No matter any issue, I just think about that day. I like, thank God. Since I'm able to stand on the side of the rightness, nothing. So I always say to people, don't think about, oh, because some people are doing some foolish things, oh, join them. No, that's not what we are looking for. We are looking for politicians that the process that we get them into office will be a process that is clean, not a nonsense process. Because if we don't do that, then we will become the same way as the people we are fighting today. And God forbid, we become like the people we are fighting today. If you ever watch to this time, God bless you and thank you. And hope one day when that time for you to make decision comes, you choose the harder right rather than the easier wrong. Bye bye.